disappointed in Unan.
Why?
Because he had a heavy choke, bro. Like literally 4 bars into his first round, he lost it completely. Then he found it, but then I don't know. He's just beating himself up about it. But it's like, bro, imagine because so Matt had this rule where you can like every battler can pick who introduced them. So I introduced Unan introduced me, and I stood on stage and I was like, "Yo, he's about to be the champ of 2 leagues." Yeah. Make some noise, Unan, and then he choked, and I was just like, "Bro, this isn't."
The worst thing about that as well is that like Unan jumped online. He was like, "I think I'm quitting." And I'm like, "Bruv, you're booked to battle Craft D this month, and now you're online saying you're quitting and that."
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why. And I said to him in a comment, like, these guys need to stop just taking these battles for a laugh and that, man. Because when you lose, if you're gonna take it that seriously, that it's gonna affect you that badly when you lose. Yeah. Then why not just take it seriously and start only battling who you want to take seriously and this, that, and the other? Like, I don't get it, man.
Bruv, Unan has to win against Craft D. He has to. You can't have 2 title shots and lose both of them, you know. Especially when you're, no disrespect to Craft D, but Unan has to beat Craft D, bro. Because imagine that, like Unan's been in how long? He has 2 title shots, and one of them is against someone that's never really been considered top tier until recently, or even if he is now. Like if he's getting a push, but you know what I mean. But if Unan loses this, then it's a big, like if Craft D loses, he loses to Unan, which is fine. But if Unan loses to Craft D in a title shot, it's a big L, bro.
Kraft's getting the push, but he's really good.
Yeah, of course, he's really
good. That's why he's getting the push.
The thing with Kraft is that people are always going to struggle to hold him as a face of battle rap.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know, he's good, he's talented, but again, he's going to get judged and looked at, and
but he hasn't got the popularity that Unan and like the other top tiers have. Like, he's got a title shot off of his talent and his skill. But it's not a popularity because I don't think he'll ever be as popular.
He doesn't have the history.
He doesn't sound like a rapper.
No, he doesn't.
When he's spitting, he doesn't sound like a rapper.
No, he's really good, but yeah.
I think there's so many different elements that people don't consider when you're becoming a rapper to sound like a complete rapper. Do you get what I'm saying? There's so many elements to it.
What do you think, Rowan?
About Kraft?
No, like the title shot. I'm saying like Unan has to win. Like. More so than Kraft, because Kraft can get a title shot in another 2 years' time. Unan has to win, I think.
Why can Kraft get another title shot in 2 years' time?
Well, no, because he's newer for one. Like Unan has been here how long? I just feel like he has to be.
Kraft has got time to work.
Yeah,
back
Unan
up to another shot.
Yeah, Unan's been in like near on a decade.
Yeah, it took Unan years, but I suppose Unan took time out though. Bro, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think people always make the assumption that when you run, I think you probably know this as well from doing training days, and you did some other thing after training days. I can't remember, but you'll remember this, I'm sure, and you too actually, and maybe even you actually from just doing 1 or 2 events. That people always assume that if you've set an event up, 2.5 years later, you could off by heart say what the card was.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, so I'll be completely honest, when we were talking to Unan about giving him the title shot, I'm a human being, bro. I had completely forgotten he battled Tony D. Completely.
Really?
Because until we did that watch the other day, I hadn't watched it back. It's been 4 or 5 years. Well, I offered him the title shot in 2019, so that would have been 4.5 years. Never watched the battle back. I was there live. I don't need to watch it back. I mean, I quickly watched. I watched all of the shit back to check for mistakes and stuff. But I didn't soak it in. So I'm not even saying that Unan doesn't deserve it. But what I'm saying is that it's like people are like, "Oh, that's so sick that he worked his way back up." And it's like, for me, it was more just like, actually, whoa, he's come back to battling. He's really relevant. People are really feeling what he's doing. Yeah, like he deserves it. And then it was actually, and to be fair, even if I had remembered that you battled Tony, I would have still given it to him, because really, who is active? Like now, who is active? And fair enough, I offered it to Unan after just battling Lazy Ass Jack. Yeah. But it's because he came back and actually smashed it, and he was like, I'm ready to come back properly. So to be fair, even if I had, like, what was I going to say to him? Oh, well, you battled Tony D 4.5 years ago. You haven't earned it yet. In all honesty, I'm actually glad that I temporarily forgot he battled Tony D, because it took that confusing element out of the whole process where I had to sit back and think. What I probably would have done is, I probably would have second guessed myself like I do with everything in life. I probably would have started thinking, oh, if I announce this, every second comment is going to be, what? He's already had his fucking turn, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't, because we announced it, and I don't even think there was any comments that were anything but just like, oh, it's so good to see you now back on a trajectory, whatever. And And then when we watched that Tony battle, I was like, actually, he's just a different battler now.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
100%.
glad we watched it back, and I'm glad I watched it. I really literally probably couldn't remember a single bar from that battle apart from the Trevor Little Mo thing. I couldn't remember anything.
I was gonna say that's the bar.
So I watched it, but that's why when you see me in the program, the views, Tony D, Unan, you see how uncontrollably I'm laughing when Unan's doing the patois, because I don't remember that he did it. I'm telling you, that was bro. Look at my reaction. That's not. I wasn't like, oh, we'll watch that because that's got a funny bit.
You never got the Harry Potter page, but
yeah, what the fuck?
What was the bar? The Harry Potter
if
one?
you're Floyd Mayweather, then I'm a page from a Harry Potter book.
Oi, that's hard. Canal is like, I think Canal's like one of the most unique battlers we've had in a long time. Like his style is so.
It's
so
a modern
good.
version. It's the closest thing to a modern version of what
Yeah.
Eddie P and O'Shea and that was doing back in the day.
Do you think Canal should get title shot soon?
I do. I'm gonna throw it out.
I
there
think
and say
Canal
do.
should be next, bro.
Like,
I'm not sure if he's got the right approach for a title match.
That's because that's because you're doing you're focusing on what like the souls and that. But if you change it,
I
like
met
Osh was champ at one
I met him
True,
at Clash
that's
Money.
true. That's true. Yo, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Canal.
Yeah.
I think Canal's awesome, but I'm not. I mean, is it something you even think he would feel comfortable?
I think he'd love. I think he'd take it definitely.
All right, I'll tell you what. I feel like it'd be one of those things where the majority of people would just be really negative about it, being like, oh well, what, we've gone from Soul versus C major to Canal versus Crafty. I just can't be around that negativity anymore.
Yeah,
man.
I get that.
I just feel like I'd be setting myself up to just a barrage of negativity.
You can never move forward though if you keep. You know what I'm saying? Like Canal,
is there not a middle ground? No, is someone like Craft Dean and Unan? Is that not middle ground between Canal being super comedy and Soul being? Is Crafty and Unan not in the middle? You don't think so?
I'd like you just said, yeah. See, I think you built a rod for your own back. Because you said like, we've gone from that to Crafty versus Canal, implying that you've built them both up to title match level, where I honestly genuinely believe that Canal versus Unan as a title match would be good. Way more entertaining, way more gripping.
I disagree, man.
I do. Really? I think...
I don't. You think Canal versus Unanimous?
I think that's two ends of the spectrum. That's a great
but how
clash.
this is the thing. Like,
Crafty is almost like a newer version of.
But you literally just said to Stray yesterday when Stray said, "What do you feel about me versus Tech?" You literally commented.
I get you. No, I get you.
Said,
I feel like Canal's not really a complete.
Right, but you were like, "This is a style clash. I'm usually going to side with someone like Tech style, right?" So I'm saying if you look at Unan and Canal
textile, that's a bar.
Yeah,
but yeah, but Unan and the thing is with someone like Tech and Stray, I think that's a very random 1 round battle, but Tech and Stray Wolf, they're actually not that dissimilar. Stray Wolf doesn't talk that street shit, but he talks aggressive shit. The only difference is Tech's aggressive and he talks it in like a street way, right? That's the only difference between them, yeah. Whereas Unan and Canal, to me, that is acres apart. I'm not saying in skill. I'm saying in style.
People can be invested in picking a side, though.
Yeah, you need.
I think even with Unan and Craft, no one's really invested in.
But do I want to make? But I don't. Do I want to make people pick bars over jokes? I want them to just kind of have a bit of.
But Canal can do both, bro. Like him, when him versus O'Shea drops in.
Man said food's
Island.
dead in the middle of Little Italy. Yeah. I get better spaghetti in Lidl for 50p.
Bro, he's sick.
That's
okay.
Yo,
but again, is that recreatable over and over again?
With Canal, I feel like I found Canal at Clash Money in like 2014, and I saw his first ever battle. When he got off the stage, I said to him, "Blood, I want to book you. I feel like you could be the next O'Shea." And people were looking at me like I was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. At that time, he wasn't nowhere near as good as an O'Shea. But I just saw that in him. And I thought, bruv, this is the only new guy now that's actually kind of doing that style and could make.
I'm not anti. I'm not anti the idea, but I wouldn't want to put Canal in a position where he bites off more than he can chew.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I feel
I'm a Canal fan.
It could happen organically over time.
Right, and it hasn't happened organically yet. So over time, I feel like Canal could build his way up there. Yeah, he's got a lot of good battles under his belt for Don't Flop in the last 2 years. He's got more coming up this year. He's got a hometown battle, which is his first ever home game. So it's like he's going to continue building his name, and he always shows up, and he always shows up with fucking
I
decent
might start
rounds.
pushing that campaign, you know.
Bro, I completely support it. Like I said, I support having Canal completely involved. All I'm saying is the word organically is the most important one.
No,
currently, I feel like picking Kraft and Unan to battle felt organic. I didn't feel forced at all. I was like, you know what, and without sounding too cheesy, definitely, even though it shouldn't come into play, my personal feelings on people now do come into the play more when I'm booking them. And I'd be lying if I said that's not the case. Because of everything.
Before it was only as if there was Asian.
Big up, go.
No, I mean, like, what I mean is, like, I'm also not an idiot, so I fully understand that it shouldn't be this way. But because of things that have transpired over the last couple of years, I definitely take into account, and I'm not talking about title matches, that's just an example. I mean, any match I book, I take into account, can I be in a room with this person for 10 minutes?
Deal with me?
How is this person going to deal with me, and how are they going to make me behave around them? So obviously that definitely was a factor behind Kraft, because I'm like, well, this guy is completely, for example, with Kraft, right? When Kraft battled Raptor, which is like a joke of a battle, but he didn't have to clear that with me whatsoever, because I've not got Kraft signed under any kind of contract at all. We're just pals, do you know what I mean? But because he's a respectful human being, when he took that battle, he didn't even ask my permission. He was like, hey man, just giving you the heads up, because that was when things had fully kicked off, right? Fully kicked off. He'd maybe seen me a couple months before, been around my house or something. And he sent me a message and was just like, yeah, just giving you a heads up. Someone's funded me versus Raptor. I'm going to take it. I think he said something like, because it makes sense for my career or something like that, which he never knew it was going to be such a joke, but I see why he thought that.
Yeah.
So
makes sense for my career to be called a ginger virgin poet.
Well, exactly. It's ironic that actually it might be one of the worst decisions he ever made, but whatever. But the point I'm making is that I remember things like that. I remember people that held me down when I was down. Do you know what I mean?
Danny Jack just fucked off the island without asking, without saying anything.
No, because at the time, Kraft D was asking me, and not asking is the wrong word. At the time when Kraft D was informing me he was going to take this battle with Raptor, Danny Jack was out there fucking trying to book, C Major versus this and that. He was trying to beat her. Do you know what I mean? Danny Jack was out there living his wildest dreams and failing. So obviously I was like, well, I'm getting disrespected from this side. So I remember things like
on this side of our
but like, so that's what I'm saying. So like, so when I'm looking at, all right, we need a champion. Shocks the Rebel is never coming back as far as I'm concerned. The door is open, but I think he's chosen to close it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I tried to put Kraft versus Shocks for next in line too.
I remember it was confirmed and Shocks backed out. I remember.
And then he confirmed against Gem.
Yep.
Which is wild.
But so I'm looking at like, well, who else has put in consistent work for Don't Flop? Has never, I can really, Crafty is one of the only battlers I can genuinely say has never given me grief. He has never turned up late, overcharged me, been rude, backstabbed me, and that list is not very long. Do you know what I mean? So like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, he's fucking earned it, bruv. Like he's had solid performance. Yeah, what people I guess are saying is the problem with the battle is that he's not very high viewed. But this, I guess, puts me in agreement with you that you're saying sometimes you got to subvert the norm. So that you're saying I should subvert the norm in the future with Canal. I'm trying to subvert the norm now with Kraft D, because I'm like, yeah, well, he hasn't got crazy views, but he's got a back catalogue of solid performances.
The fan in me at home, like before I started battling properly, the few months I did watch Don't Flop at home without being as involved in it, I was commenting on YouTube like a fan, like I've never met you guys, probably never would meet you. The fan in me right there is saying that comment would be, is just picking his mates for title shots because he treats him better and deals with him better. He's giving him a title shot.
And I know that's what people are saying, which is why I'm addressing it.
No, of course.
And I'm saying that is to a degree that does play a part in it.
Canal's arguably bigger as well.
But I was going to say, the next thing I was going to say was that Canal falls into that category as well. Canal was never caused me any drama. I fuck with him 100%. Like
he's dope.
This is words from his home mouth, his own mouth. Canal considers Don't Flop his league now. I've heard him say that to different people, and to me, he's been like, Don't Flop is my league that I battle in now. So if his performances continue to be regular and just decent in general, there could easily be a time when I'm like, yo, do you know what would be a really left field title match? Canal versus whoever. Right now, though, wouldn't make sense.
So when Unan or Kraft wins, do you have anyone in mind to then go for it?
No, because I don't even know when we'll do the next one.
Yeah.
Probably, do you know, I'd love to do the next one in December at the 12th birthday. That's about
12.
10, yeah,
but this
10
is where
months,
as well,
10
though,
months
like with
gap.
the regular
And I think
uploads
in 10 months, over 10 months, we could build.
that's what I'm saying with the tryouts.
So maybe
and the
Canal.
regular
Maybe by then it
uploads
could be
and
Canal.
stuff, we
I
can
reckon
have
it'll
a
be
look
Canal.
back and think, right, over
But is
the
there
last
anybody
10
else
months.
that you lot would think would fit the bill apart from Canal?
Quill was already the international champion.
Yeah, and what did he last do for Don't Flow? He battled DNA last.
Oh, really?
So it's not. Again, it wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense. I don't need a double champion. I think that's corny. Man.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not-
I hear that.
But things can change.
Yo,
though, like,
now Bobby's back.
Mm.
this
go
is
for
the
it.
thing. That's what I was going to say. Things can change. People can come back and do a solid 6-month run of 6 consistent sick battles and end up being the top of everyone's lips. Do you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
depends how they do it, how they market themselves. Pause. But
Yeah.
no, but for real though, like
Also not a phrase, I think, 'cause I jumped to the moon, bro.
Things can change so quickly. Like
We spoke about whether Crafty deserves a shot,
Yeah.
whether it should be Canal, whatever. But it is Crafty and Unan.
Yeah.
So, Danny, starting with you, what do you actually think about the outcome of the battle?
I think, like I said, Unan has to win, man. Like, I don't...
But that's not what I said.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
what do you think about the outcome? It's gonna be.
I think Unan will win.
You do think it'll get, but
I
why?
think
not?
Unan, because Unan is better than Crafty. I'm just going to have to say it outright. I think he's better. He's a better battle rapper. He's a better rapper. Crafty is really, really good. He's a really good writer. He's probably on the same level of writing as Unan, if not structurally a little bit better. But like Unan, like is just a whole different type of beast, bro. Like Unan has the full package completely. He's got the.
But wouldn't you have said there's absolutely no way he's going to lose to this Hades Irish kid? And then you say he lost.
Yeah, but that's what he did lose, but he also choked a lot, and he was stumbling all over the place. You could say debatably, like, well, not even. It's not debatable. Hades did win, but it's a technicality because
technicality.
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 Is that Hades' real name?
But I thought Unan would win. Hades won. Hades was really good too, but also I think Unan's going to take this because it's his second title match.
But this is the problem.
I think Unan will win. That's basically what I'm saying.
I'm assuming that he was going to ask me the same question.
Yeah,
next,
yeah, for sure.
But the thing is that it depends how prepared Unan is. For me, basically, it depends how serious he takes it, and this is the problem. Like, you can overlook battles, but Crafty is going to come with 3 very well prepared, clean rounds, and if Unan doesn't do A1 Unan, then he's putting a big risk at losing it. But typically, if I put a typical good Unan performance versus a typical Crafty performance, I'd say Unan every time.
Yeah.
Unan 3.
Unan has the room.
Yeah.
I've been
All the
saying this
time.
I've got a few people coming to the event that have been the outside of battle rap and they've been looking to come for a while. And I've been saying, like, even though I think it's going to be super even, I've been saying when they're like, what will I enjoy? I've said you will enjoy Unanimous.
Yeah.
Like,
But you remember the face-off.
Unanimous, you have to see him live. If you can
So
find
good.
this on my Facebook when he battled Jefferson Price, I said this. And when Unan came back to Don't Flop, I actually said, do you remember when I bigged you up so much on Facebook after you battled Jeff?
Yeah.
Because if he's on form,
Yeah.
he captures I'm talking the bar staff, the sound man, everyone is listening to Unan when he's on form because he is just so fucking loud and just on
Do you know what's crazy?
point
Like,
with what he's saying. But if
It's the delivery and flow, and that, but he's
and
got
Kraft, I think
package.
Kraft. That's what Kraft will be practicing because Kraft will obviously. I mean, he is on the ball with this battle. I know he will have sat there and he will have watched every single Unan battle, 2-on-2 freestyle, 2009, anything.
Yeah.
I know he will have done. I know he will be like, I'm a better writer than Unan, but he's gonna try out rap me. So I believe
Which
that
Unan
Kraft is
can,
gonna.
man.
I can't lie.
I think Kraft's gonna step in the ring and he's gonna have this projection we never seen. And
Like
this
you were
and
saying
that
earlier, though, like about me, like style preferences and me saying like I prefer Tech and the Stray Wolf battle, etc., because it's something I'd rather listen to. I think them elements there are things that you can't practice. I think they're elements that you can't necessarily really learn. Like Prodigy from Mobb Deep isn't the most technically great, skilledest rapper ever, but it's something about his flow, the way he says words, his vocab, his voice tone. Like, there's things that you can't, like, and then when you do try too hard, it's so clear that you're forcing it.
Right, but I think Kraft will know this as well. I honestly believe that he will be thinking, I'm known as Kraft D, not the ginger virgin poet, but the poet, polite, nice person, right? I think when he's practicing, he will be thinking, I've got to project, but not in a corny, false way. Because it's true, if he steps in and does a Unan fucking -1 impression, that's going to be awful.
But regardless though, even
I think he's got it in him to come and give
even
a
in their
better
both
delivery.
natural talking voices, Unan's easier on the ear. And this is where I think a lot of it comes. When I say there's a lot of elements involved in being a rapper, is how comfortable you are. Now with me, like same thing I tell girls, you might feel ugly and fat, but if you show me that you feel
Which girls
ugly
are you
and fat,
saying this to?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying in general. I'm saying in
Think
general. I'm empowerment, innit? Empowerment. What I'm saying is, if you feel ugly and fat, and you show me that you feel ugly and fat, I'm gonna feel like you're ugly and fat. Whereas there's some beautiful, bigger women who might not be conventionally beautiful, but you'll look at them and think, wow, she's got something about her. She's got that spark. But it's because the same with battle rappers.
So Unan is the bigger woman.
No, but it's in general.
That is what you're saying.
In general, what I'm saying is confidence sells. Like to me, if you're confident in yourself, I can be confident in you.
Hulk's gonna be on
If
the
you're not
side.
confident in yourself, then I can't. And with Crafty, when he raps, sometimes it feels like you're awkward. But you feel out of place, and you're telling me that you feel out of place.
Okay, but
So I
what about
can't
him
enjoy
versus
it.
Quill?
Wait, I actually get you.
Have you two? I mean,
Yeah, I've seen.
you've seen. I mean, yeah,
Bruv.
him versus Quill.
Kraft versus Quill.
I don't think it's false confidence. I think it's real.
It's not.
confidence.
No,
I think
it's
real
real
confidence. I'm
confidence.
saying in that
It's real
performance
confidence.
specifically, I think
Him
it's
versus
real
Red Flag as
confidence.
well.
It's real
Yeah,
confidence.
real confidence.
But
bro.
what I'm saying is that he believes that he's easier on the ear than he is. The confidence is real, but it's just not coming across the way you want it to come across, and I don't think there's much you can do to change about that.
He's hard to buy into. I think he's really good. It's like I have the same sort of thing with a couple other battlers. They're really good, but like Unan is a character. It's unanimous. When he's on, say, I'm the monster, bro. He has, like you said, he has.
He
the
needs to
room.
bring that shit back, man.
Yeah, yo, like
Trust me.
This is the crazy thing about Unan. He choked for a good a long time in the beginning of his first round in Ireland, and then when he got it back, it's like nothing ever happened. He was just straight away, and it just like that monstrosity character came screaming out of him, and I think that's where I think he'll win. Whereas Kraft D is a really good writer. He's getting better at like delivering it well, but he hasn't got the character. Unan is just gonna
And
take over the whole stage.
Are you at a point where you feel like it's beyond practice for Crafty?
Yeah.
He
You will never find what Unan has.
Yeah.
Right,
You
it's
can't-
like
you
you
can't learn
shouldn't
it.
say choir. Whatever.
My son the
Yeah,
other day
yeah.
said to me, "Can you teach me how to rap?" I said, "If I could," I said, "But rap's about having your own style."
Yeah.
And I said, "You need to develop your own style, and then I can give you pointers."
That's
But
such a
if
cool
I teach,
conversation.
if I teach you how to rap, all
That's
you're gonna
so
do is
cool.
sound like me, and being a rapper sounding like someone else isn't cool.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
I don't want to teach you how to rap.
He can never.
But he's allowed to sound like his dad.
But for me, I want him to have that credibility. Like, for me, I feel like
I want
rapping.
bars and jokes, bro. You know, Tuesday is bars and bolognese day.
Taco Tuesday.
Man's waking up. I said, "Yo."
You better hit me with a 16 over a Pete Rock beat, or you can fuck off and eat on the
For
doorstep.
me, I feel like I can get that. I feel I can vibe from that authenticity of someone who's taught themselves their own style and developed it, as opposed to someone who said, "I like him, so I'm gonna try and rap like him."
Yo, the thing like with you,
Eminem
like Kraft, like
they're 10 a dozen.
yeah, Kraft is sick, but that style he's got is developed. He's practiced that. Whereas, but when Unan gets into that, you know,
He
it's,
rolled
it's
out
like
of bed
twerk.
and could go, "I'm
It's
a
like twerk.
monstrosity."
It's like twerk.
You
I need
fully
a proper
believe it's
beat.
just them.
It's just
Yeah.
Unan, brother. When I keep referencing Island because that is like, even though he choked, that first round of his is he's standing there, and the whole round he had this whole thing. He was like, I'm like Danny Trejo with the machete drawn, and like I'm this guy with the thing from the second floor, and it's just like
It's the
he's
same
just
with
stood there
Shotty.
like,
Even if his bars weren't
Shotty's
as good as
well,
they are, he could get on stage and style it out better.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
better than someone who's got a mate like
Shotty,
Crafty.
there's no denying Shotty. If we're talking rapping ability, Shotty is one of the best rappers. that has
Yeah,
ever
but
been.
also
Ever,
no, but it's
ever,
just
never.
it's
There's
the
absolutely
aura.
no
It's the
discussion
aura.
about
It's
it.
the performance
That's what I'm saying.
that oozes off of him.
Because he raps naturally.
Someone
it
like
comes off him.
Crafty could pen their best, most structured, intricate verse, and Shotty could get on and go, "Oh, someone said I wasn't going to show up."
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like the
That's what I'm saying.
electrifying feel that you get from
it's
some
charisma,
rappers.
yeah.
I don't think other rappers. I don't think you can learn it.
So you two. Well, I don't want to speak for you, but are you saying you'd pick Unan as well for it?
Unan, yeah, Unan.
And what about you?
I think it's quite interesting the way that it's poised because I think everyone would say that Unan's the better. He's got the rounded package. He's definitely got the higher ceiling of the two. It's like he's definitely got the higher ceiling. If Unan goes in there and wins, I think it's gonna be a great battle, because I know that Kraft will not fuck about. Kraft will come with something that's like a 9 out of 10, but Unan's capable of bringing that 10. Whereas like Kraft probably isn't capable of bringing a 10, but he's capable.
Because that's so funny that all of us are like absolutely everything we've said has always finished with, but I know Kraft is going to come at his best, and that's crazy that we're all like he's going to come at his best, but you all believe Unan will still win.
Yeah,
like,
still win.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that I think he's going to win, because it's like I'm a big believer in hard work. Like hard work beats talent if talent don't work hard. It's like, and it's
was that Pep Guardiola as well?
That was fire.
But it's if Unan messes around, he'll lose.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance he's messed around a bit.
He's got a title match.
There we go. Exactly. See, that's the next point.
So he should win, but if I had to put my money on it, I might be backing Kraft.
Because
fair enough.
Because you just never know what Unan you're gonna get. Yeah. And Kraft, that's I guess what you're saying, that if we turn up on a day on the 29th and we get 11 out of 10 Unan, and he's just like, what the fuck? Because I feel like, this is no disrespect to Kraft D, like I said, I love the guy a lot, but I feel like Unan, to beat Kraft D, he has to get into that mind state of Kraft D, fucking Kraft. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, and I think maybe he's not quite there yet, but or he wasn't before. But I'm hoping that by watching the views thing that we did, analysing the battle and seeing that Kraft D is making some pretty valid points about where Unan needed improvement. I'm hoping Unan's going to have seen that. And if he wasn't, and just light that fire and be like, who the fuck are you to talk to me about this shit? Literally. Because like I said, regardless of the fact, Crafty, the points he made, they weren't disrespectful. They were just straight up. And he showed Unan a lot of love in that video as well. But I know what Unan's like. I think this might be a sign of immaturity possibly, but I know that Unan, he won't take on board the fact that Kraft was like, yo, the Trevor and Little Mo angle, bang, blah, 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 blah. I think he will take on board from that video. Kraft D, who is not as good a battler as me, is sitting on a sofa telling Press One and Henry that basically I am shit and he should beat me. Yeah. And I think if that doesn't give him the ampedness that he needs, then there's nothing that can, and Kraft D would still win. But I think we're now, a week and 2 days out, and he's running out of time / has almost run out of time, full stop, because he needs to be practicing. Because I was speaking to Kraft the other day, I was trying to get a file off him, and he was saying, sorry, I've been long, almost basically saying this battle's been taken over my life for a couple of days, which is not surprising whatsoever. And it's like, if Kraft is at the point where, Kraft is usually one of them guys, like a toucan, reply to a message in 30 seconds. Like Kraft is usually a super quick responder. Yeah. So if Kraft is saying, sorry, I've been busy, I've been prepping for this Unan clash, that means he is fully intending on coming absolutely skyrocketing out the fucking building, leaving all of us walking out for the smoke break being like, wow, that was the best Crafty performance I've ever seen in my life. So if Unan is not taking it remotely seriously, even on that level, anywhere near that level, he will get bodied. And I know he doesn't want that, because he would never live it down, because everybody really believes, as a generalization, everybody I guess believes he should win. And he couldn't handle it. I know as a battle rap is built on egos. The first step is having an ego and believing, like we said, I can do that as well as you. And we all know Unan doesn't look at Kraft D and say, I can battle as well as you. He looks at Kraft D and says, I'm better at every part of rapping
everything,
than you.
He believes that too.
He needs to really channel that self-belief and that confidence and almost that arrogance, to be honest, of I am unanimous, bro. I said this from day. My favorite aspect that battlers have is arrogance, when they can back it up. When a battler steps on and is just like, I'm the fucking man, and you know it, I'm like, oh man, that is so entertaining to watch.
Have you seen him versus Raptor on Premier Battles?
No, I haven't. What was he saying?
Unan is a professional, This guy got spat on, pushed, and they really tried to throw.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not rapping. I'm not after I've been spat on. I'm not continuing to stand on the stage.
I don't want to be there when Hulk gets spat on.
Unan had this bar. He had a bar, and he was like basically saying like, "Oh, rapped
about his kids,
about his daughter." He was like, "That's your daughter." He said something about his daughter.
But I swear, Bobby rapped
on him, and then Bobby pushed him as well.
No, but in Bobby's battle, Bobby punched him.
Bob
then he
accidentally punched him.
True.
And then, but then they obviously cut out the little
scuffle
tussle there because Unan pushed him, and then the whole of Manchester came and pushed him back, and then he came back and said the bar again, just off the back.
Oh really? That's cold. That's cold. Shout out Unan.
It's basically this is battle rap, bitch, again all over again.
Shout out Unan.
It's mad that he did that against someone like he's talking about how rap is like a mini shotty, and then said something that got pissed off, and then said the bar again. He basically said this is battle rap, bitch, all over again. But that's the thing, that Unan never loses composure. He choked for a whole minute, which would normally
would RIP'd a lot of people.
Yeah, people
man.
would never be able to. But he just came and he was just back. Like this is why.
But that's what I hope. It's almost without wanting to sound too negative.
Yeah.
It's almost good that something like that happened in Ireland, because if you compare the two battles, he probably watched 10 minutes of this.
Oh,
he probably never really knew who he was. Watched a couple. I might be wrong. I don't want to speak for him. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, I guess he probably didn't watch too much of his shit. And
you didn't think it was
just like, who cares? It's like a fucking free trip to. You know how battlers think. We're all very aware that people do it with Don't Flop as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost good that he what's the word? Underestimated Hades, came okay, but still got 3-0'd, people are saying, by a newcomer.
Yeah.
And now I'm hoping that's made him sit at home since and be like, this can't happen again.
I've heard some of his stuff for Craft, like ages ago. Ages ago, and it's great. And the things with Unan, like you can.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he can sit there and write incredible bars.
This guy wants to be champion of two leagues.
I envy people like Unan and Pedro and shit. When you're at an event with them, or like after an event, you're in the hotel, or whatever, and these guys are just rapping constantly for like 6 hours. As a rapper, I think, man, I remember those days when I was like 14, 15, and I would do that. Like I was on the block trying to rap all day. Anyone who would listen to me, I'm just trying to rap and show you that I've got bars. These guys still have that passion, and that's why they can, get up and do what they do and have that ego. Like you were saying, it's sick when a battler gets on stage and knows they're the man. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of me, like I was saying earlier, I feel like I could be a bit more aggressive and a bit more, but I feel cringe in trying to put on that thing that's not me.
But maybe it's still not. Maybe it's not too late for you to try different.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not. But again, I'm about comfortability and enjoying myself. Some rappers, like you said, they have that passion and that belief that I'm gonna be the man. I'm gonna show everyone I'm the man. And when you get up on stage with that feeling in your gut, it's gonna.
Bro, like you see me battle, I'm quite laid back in my battles all the time, and I never really get on stage or in a pit or whatever and feel like, oh yeah, I'm the man. But for some reason, because took so long out, I got 3-0 Osh, took like 16 months out. Then when I got to get stage with JPEG, I just felt like, especially with Dublin being like, gassing me up from the get go.
You didn't hear my dig at you earlier, did you?
What did you say?
When I said I couldn't just like get on stage and pretend to be all excited and like my first battle like Danny Jack did in Ireland.
But I was so gassed. But I've genuinely.
I was watching that and I was kind of feeling like, raw, that's not Danny Jack. Where the fuck has this come from?
Have you seen it? The battle.
I saw a clip. Couple of clips.
Yeah, bro.
But he was bouncing around the stage with like some hitman energy.
Because
and I was like, I've never seen Danny Jack battle like that.
Because I was pissed off that I'm up here with JPEG, bro, and I was like, bro, there's no way you can win.
Your last one was O'Shea.
Yeah, or I had the comedian battle, but I don't really count that.
But that's like what you're saying, that you got up there with the attitude of hold on a minute. Like,
what the fuck am I doing up here?
I've got a style on
You're the first time I saw JPEG battle was against me, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't watch none of his shit. Yeah. I was like almost pissed off at the fact that this is where I'm at. And so I just, that's why I was so gassed, bro. I was just.
That's the best thing. You got to get the needle like to a degree, and that's what we're hoping that Unan is going to have.
That's what I think he'll do. Because you know for damn sure that Unan does not. He's pissed off at the fact that he's up there at Crafty.
Yeah,
I suppose this is.
But he needs to translate that to paper. Because he is. You're right. He is pissed off.
Yeah.
And he needs to. These thoughts of I'm Unan need to be put in bar form and they need to be spat like Unanimous the monstrosity.
Yeah.
That's all people want to hear, bruv.
Yeah,
Start
literally.
talking about it's battle rap, bitch. Talking about baking cakes, monstrosities. What is
Bro.
it? Something respect, Callum, bro. No one wants to see Unan be humble and nice. No, bro, get in the fucking ring and be like, Crafty, shut the fuck up. Who are you? Blah 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 blah. And that's how Crafty needs to approach him as well. Crafty needs to come and be like, bro,
belittle him.
I deserve to be here
because to be fair, Unan for all his achievements in battle rap has so many detractors for things that he's done wrong, and there's almost just as many people that
He's
like
got the ammo to do it.
because there's a lot of people that are such detractors of him that they'll happily say to Craft D, make sure you mention this, make sure you mention this, make sure you mention this. I'm not saying giving him dirt, but they'll be like, remember that Unan blah blah blah, remember that this happened, remember that this happened, blah blah blah. And also Craft D keeps his ear to the street. Like whenever I chat to him, he's always
Make
like
him sound like a gangster, bro.
but like what he said in the face off, like in the face off when he was being humble, when I said, are we going to hear new angles? And he was like, well, you'll hear some new angles, but I think what he said was, some angles are timeless. And it's like, that's letting us know that he's gonna hit us with some angles that we all get. And to be fair, we all want to hear. I want to hear Crafty be original, 100%. I want to hear new angles, but at the same time, it would almost be a shame to see someone take on Unan and not bring up a couple obvious things, but maybe flip them in a fresh way.
Crafty's really good at angles, man. Really good at
crazy, man.
Like, that's the refreshing thing about battle rapping as well, is that a lot of people are worried to recycle and use angles that have been done. I'm one of those people. I hate touching on, but at the same time, you can hear an angle be done once or twice and think, wow, no one's done that angle justice.
Yeah.
I could actually put a spin on that angle that's going to be so different that it's going to actually do it justice.
Yeah.
But I suppose if too many people think that, then there's going to be the angle getting rinsed out and it's not going to be great. But
it's not normally the angle that kills him, it's the way that you execute
exactly.
Press and Lefty, starting with you. What do you think of Press one versus Lefty?
Press. I think that, and it's hard actually because Lefty's really good on beat, but I just think Press, he takes that ring seriously, bro, which is sick. I mean, it's sick. I'm not dissing him, but like, remember everyone thought he was gonna lose against Bilzer, and then who was his second defense against?
He did lose against Bilzer.
No, he didn't. He won the title, didn't he?
No, he means he thinks he lost.
Oh right. Oh, you think he lost?
No, I know he lost.
Daddy's lack of understanding.
So
basic language.
So he won against Bilzer, and then I saw a couple man kissing in that.
Then you looked in the mirror and realised it was you and Craig.
But no, I think Press will take it more because Lefty's in a stage where he's just battling for fun, and I don't think he'll take it that seriously. I think Press will win basically, and yeah, big up Gaze.
Why do you always finish a sentence like you're gonna say more? Like, do you know that's so underwhelming? Like, people do it in interviews and presentations and that. Like, and that's it. Like, why say and when you're finished?
You and Sniper did a grown up thing, bro.
It's finished.
We've actually gone quite a few hours without any of the proper rivalry coming out, and now finally the rivalry is coming out.
I've listened to him for so long without actually thinking, bro, what the fuck?
But yeah, anyway, so you think Press because Lefty won't take it seriously?
No, I also think that Press will win. Even if Lefty does come seriously, I think Press will still win.
Okay.
I think Press is better.
What about you, Hog?
Lefty all day.
Left side.
Do I need to justify that?
Yeah, 100%. Of course you do. It's a podcast, bro. Facial expressions don't work.
Basically, Lefty's my pal. He's from West London. He's an alright guy. Technically, Press is probably actually a better on-beat battle rapper than him. But I'm just going to give a biased answer and say Lefty because that's my nigga.
Sean?
Yeah, I think it is a tough one. It's another one where I'd probably say that Press is going to take it a lot more seriously, and I tend to lean with that hard work. So, yeah, Press, but Lefty's going to give me some shit.
Yeah. So 2 for Press, 1 for Left, and I get to stay neutral.
yeah. Who do you think's gonna win Craft Unan?
It don't matter what I think, man.
Hi, bruv, you never give your opinion.
Don't watch what I think. Who cares what I think, man?
The one time you do judge it, don't feel bad. You got it wrong.
The difference is though is that like Crafty and Unan in their face off, they were both basically claiming to be Mr. Southwest, and Unan was like Bristol's down the road.
Mr. Southwest sounds like someone that was in the toilets of that gay club. Bro.
That was one of the couple man.
Unan's obviously got a history of battling in Bristol. He says Bristol's down the road from him. He's from Southwest. Boom, boom, boom. Crafty's saying he's from Bristol as well, even though originally he's from London or whatever. Apparently. Yeah. But
that accent is
so that's their kind of debate. But with Press and Lefty, like Press is more of a Bristol guy, so Lefty's going there against the hometown.
But Press is London as well, though.
Yeah, but
Press is Bristol.
To go
based.
to Bristol and battle Press, he's obviously going to have that hometown advantage.
Do you think Unan will win both titles? Oh no, you're neutral for don't flop. Do you think Unan will beat Matter?
Yeah, all day.
Do you know what he should do? Because Matter doesn't excite people. He's really fucking decent. I guess he's in the same boat as Craft D.
Yeah.
I beat Matter with 2 rounds.
He's never whack, but he's
never whack. Matter, as far as my personal respect, Matter has more of my respect than most battlers.
But he gets sameish to listen to though.
But and I'm saying from a fan's POV, I think there's more chance of. I think there's way more chance of Craft beating Unan than Matter. And I'm not just saying this because this is Premier Battle. It's nothing to do with that at all. Like I said, I fuck with Matter. I just think. Do you know what it is as well? I think doesn't even matter where the battle takes place, Unan versus Matter. I genuinely believe wherever that battle takes place, as long as it's not Leeds, I
reckon Unan could still win it in Leeds.
It's in London.
Okay, but if it's in London, right?
Jam.
Okay, well, all right, it's a Brixton Jam. I'm telling you right now, there is every chance that Unan will just take that clean sweep. And again, when I say clean sweep, I'm being very clear that Matter will not choke. He will not have any filler.
You're saying from a fan's
I'm just saying, bro, Matter will do his thing, but Unan, if it's Brixton Jam, neutral territory, I'd be super fucking shocked if he didn't take that home. Whereas if we're talking Bristol, like you said, they're both kind of like, we're both Southwest, whatever. But Craft definitely has the advantage because he's based in Bristol. He puts in work in Bristol. He's respected in Bristol. Unan is respected by battle fans that live in Bristol. Yeah. Craft is respected by the bigger, wider community, bro. So all I can say is Craft has a much better chance of beating Unan than Matter does. Yeah. And let me tell you this right now: if Unan loses to Craft, he'll destroy Matter.
Like if Unan,
he might destroy him if he fucking wins. But I'm just saying, if most definitely, if Unan, everything we've said, if he comes fully prepped on monstrosity level and he still loses, he'll go all guns blazing at Matter.
I think what we were talking about earlier, like not even to be deep or like to try and go too deep or anything, but Unan obviously, like we said, he's done a lot of mess ups in the past, and usually it's more outside of actual battles. And online, he always seems like he's asking for help and he's struggling, etc. in different scenarios. But he needs that stage. He needs that raw. That Unan chant is his life. Like that's his everything. Like he needs that, bro.
I want him to win.
He needs that.
It would be incredible.
It's his life.
If he loses both, if he loses both, I don't think we'll see him again.
Yeah, no, that's what
he
I'm saying.
He doesn't have like a long-term career outside of battle.
He's put a lot of.
He doesn't have like a big education.
He deserves
to be like a long-term girlfriend. Like he needs that Unan chant is what he has.
You know, I would be. I mean, like I said, Craft is my guy, and Craft is super underrated. So if Craft wins, I'll be very happy to have a Don't champion that I personally respect and rate a lot. And I think we can. I think we can build him. But I'm with you. If Unan wins both of them,
man, he deserves it.
That would be one of the coolest. I'm going to say this lightly. That would be one of the coolest moments in UK battle rap ever.
Do you know what it is?
For there to be 2 leagues, because like I said, there's always been other leagues, right? When Don't there was fucking lab battles. There was all these fucking random leagues that didn't last. But this is the first time ever there's been 2 leagues that are doing their thing and are actually that count. Do you know what I mean? So if Unan was champion, if you, I'm sorry, bro. Truth is hard. But if Unan was simultaneously champion.
You know what it is?
I can say I can't speak for Briggsy, but I have no issue with that at all. I would fucking love it.
That was so
I'm like, bro, I'll be there backing you. Like, do you know what I mean? Let's do it. Like
let's say like in wrestling, you got Stone Cold and The Rock. That's Luna and Shotty. I think Unan's like the Triple H, where just as good, but they're never seen as that on that top sort of level. So I think if Unan wins both of them, that I think he deserves some time at the top like that.
He does.
really, really, really does. Because he's literally the person that got me into battle rap in the first place. And that's
was he actually?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
No way.
I watched Luna vs DPF, but I only watched Luna vs DPF. I thought it was a one-off thing. I thought that was just like a phase. Then I found Unan and I watched all of his battles.
How unlucky do you have to be to get your opportunity at your title shot, but it's against Tony D? And then how lucky you get to be to get a second go and it's against Craft D. You're like, oi, mate, I'm going to take this now.
Unan can
not even to say be deep to like Craft D or nothing, but in the comparison, like Unan having to battle Tony D versus Unan having to battle Craft D. Like, surely one should be an easier option.
That was like a vintage Tony D as well. I think
one of Tony's best performances.
That's my favourite Tony D performance. Is like
Unan must feel now a little bit like, okay, I can do this now.
Yeah,
I've got much more of a chance of actually taking this.
The way he was against Raptor, like if he brings that performance against Craft and Matter, he'll win both titles 100%. Like 100%.